be the first time that the road fund has been raided. The budget has been balanced in many years by pulling money. Okay, and I want to define that. Okay, now we're no longer a growing county, but when we were a growing county, 99 through about 2005, ladies and gentlemen, you go look at the budget numbers yourself, and the total dollars that we spend on roads in Santa Rosa County is almost a flat line. Now you tell me how your elected official justifies flat line budgetary growth in building roads when you have massive growth coming into your county.
Well, and when you have an actual visible need, you need to run the electricity and you need to run various operations to these parks so that kids can go out there and play ball and so on. When you have an actual need and parents are telling you, I can't afford this, it's $80, $90, whatever, to play soccer this year. And I didn't hear anything about raiding the Economic Development Fund.
Nope, sure didn't.
To solve that emergency, which is still going, is still ongoing.
You know, it's the same old story, ladies and gentlemen. It's called, I must take care of a tiny portion of the citizens in Santa Rosa County, and to heck with the rest of you. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't want to hear your thoughts. We're going to spend $3.1 million on pulling. We're going to spend $1.7 million on another piece of property for another industrial park. We're going to spend over $1 million on the aviation park. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what you say, ladies and gentlemen. They don't care what you think. They don't care.
We went out and we physically visited 3 empty swaths of land that have, as you pointed out in the videos, have absolutely got nothing going on.
No activity.
And somehow now Santa Rosa citizens will have to cough up a way to put roads and pipelines and all this other stuff out to these empty properties, and after this purchase, there's no money left to do that.
Well, look.
And this is a point that Commissioner Lane Lynchard, who voted against this, made that point many times, and Commissioner Jim Williamson, who also voted against it, asked him the same thing. How are you going to develop this? That's the first thing he asked him. How are you going to develop these properties? Well, there was no answer.
Well, exactly. That's typically what you get out of Commissioner Don Salter, Bob Cole, and Gordon Gooden. Is you could go ask them if they think it's daylight, and they'd sit there and stare at you. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. Lynchard and Williamson were 100% correct. You've raided every penny. Not only did you take all the economic development funds, but now, ladies and gentlemen, they've taken your road money from you now. Your road money is going over there, okay? It's gone. Kiss it goodbye.
Instead of helping, parents put their kids in sports.
Well, how about instead of fixing a pothole or two every now and then, how about paving a road that doesn't happen to go past some well-connected elected official, or a road that happens to just have 2 houses on it? I mean, give me a break. We need to emphasize road building in Santa Rosa County, and it needs to be where the majority of the people are at. And if there happens to be 12 grandmas living on a dirt road that have very little political influence in Santa Rosa County, if that's the greatest need, that's where that asphalt needs to be put. You got me fired up today, Deborah.
Okay, you're getting hot under the collar. Here's the other thing that disturbs me about this, is this focus on the franchise fee. Now this is an extra little charge that's tacked onto your electric bill. So that, and this point was made several times, so that when electric rates go up and your bill goes up, the county gets more money. And this is where the money's going, is to selected individuals who have a property to sell. We're seeing them benefit from these franchises.
Look, we started the bailout program way before Obama was even a mark on TV.
Well, we don't know that it's a bailout. We don't have any evidence of that. But we've certainly seen the money go towards just a few individuals, whether it's in the form of consulting contracts or whatever. We haven't seen that money in the Economic Development Fund. I don't see that it's been used towards any kind of major public good or widespread public good.
Well, you know what, I mean, we all look, you know, with the exception of a handful of people, nobody else believes that the $7 to $10 million that we have poured into economic development has done any good in Santa Rosa County.
Here's my point, is when the power company's rates go up, it benefits county government and a rarefied group of people, just a few people who have some influence with the county government. Now that sets up an interesting relationship between the power company and county government and local governments and those few influential people.
Well, let's raise the rates a little bit and increase the franchise pot.
Now, wouldn't it be interesting if you had some kind of venue where the power company and influential local people and county government could meet outside of the sunshine law, outside of irritating citizens who want to come in and ask what they're doing with our money? Wouldn't it be nice if you had a place that they could get together and they could talk about where that money needs to go?
Well, I think they had a place like that, didn't they?
We have such a Shangri-La.
Yeah, they created that. I believe you would be referring to the offices of Team Santa Rosa.
Gulf Power is a member of Team Santa Rosa. They contribute to Team Santa Rosa. Team Santa Rosa reaps the benefits of franchise fees because that's mostly what they're funded by.
Right.
And then Team Santa Rosa, in some meeting somewhere, decides where those franchise fees are going to be.
Exactly. You know, I think the thing that I was so offended by, what offended me out of Gordon Gooden's comments, was he seemed to be full of glee as he discussed the fact that Gulf Power rates have gone up. So, oh goody, we'll have more money to spend.
Now, there were a number of questions that were raised in this whole Pullman Park purchase issue, and they were never answered. First of all, there was a $900,000 appraisal on that property that nobody wanted to talk about. A couple of citizens mentioned it. It was never answered. It was never addressed.
Right.
It just
County commissioners asked questions that never was answered.
Exactly. And what we saw people met with when they opposed this was, we heard the same old tired discussion that we always hear when this kind of thing happens, which is this is the way to bring jobs to the county and keep our kids from having to move away and so on and so forth.
At which point most people go, how many jobs have you brought in? And most people know not many, but then we wouldn't know anyhow because they haven't released any information since 2004. So, well,
there are no standards. There are no performance standards for any of this economic development stuff. You'll bring X number of jobs per year.
Here's some money.
Right.
We're going to send you some more. We're going to rob some from the road fund. We're going to take away the citizens' right to have a road to ride on. We're going to take that money. We're going to shuffle everything around so we can make this happen. No performance standard. We don't tell anybody what we expect out of you.
Well, and so what we've seen with this whole process is we've seen, on the one hand, we've seen put out there a piece of empty land, a large, expensive piece of an empty field, basically. Or, I'm sorry, it's a treed field.
Right.
And on the other hand, we've seen all these golden promises of all these thousands of jobs.
Right.
And there's been no connection in between as
Absolutely.
to how this giant piece of land is going to somehow lead to all these jobs.
They knew how they were going to do it while they were having their secret meeting. You didn't grasp that.
It was none of our business.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jerry Cooey.
I'm Deborah Nelson. Good night.
See us next week.